Hi everyone, greetings from my end, Dimma here, and on this tutorial I'll be sharing with you how to make a bone, to put a boning on an underbust corset and then cover it up with lace, and also gourmets, that is eyelet holes. This is what I'll be sharing with you in this tutorial, so let's get right into it. So here is a more like an underbust corset, okay, and I'll be showing you how you can apply boning to it. I have a tutorial that shares exactly how this pattern is on this channel, and I'll be linking it up in the description box. But for this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to put boning on this, and the boning I'll be using is Ridgeline, and I'll also be sharing with you how to make eyelet holes, standard eyelet holes on your corset dresses. So here is the Ridgeline bone that I will be using, and how I am going to measure it is what I will be showing right now. So this is what I'll be covering it up with. It is a Duchess fabric. You know, Duchess stretches on one side, and I will want to make the horizontal part of this cloth more like, well, when I'm cutting it, you will understand what I mean. Okay, the lengthwise, the longer part will not be stretchy. The slimmer part will be stretchy. That's what I mean. Okay, because the slimmer part, I chose the part that stretches. Okay, so that is how I'll be cutting out this, and here is what I'm doing. I'm just going ahead to cut out strips that I'll be using to cover the Ridgeline bone. Now this is how I'm cutting it to ensure that every part of it is equal. I'll cut out more strips, and then I will go ahead and start covering it up, using it to cover up the Ridgeline bone. Now this is the underbust corset that will cover the cupped corset, but I'll be teaching you how you can apply boning to it. Now this is how I'm measuring it. Watch that it touched the underbust part, but towards the hem, I stopped it 1 inch before the hem. Okay, that is on purpose. I did not allow the Ridgeline to get to the hem. Watch closely to see what I am doing. So here I measured the same and noticed that it is perfect for it and also perfect for this middle. Then I'll be putting extra boning, though there is no line there, on this side and on the opposite side of it as well. So, but that part, I noticed that it did not match. Is far away from the hem, and then that means I will be cutting longer Ridgeline bone for that part. So having said that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and cut out the Ridgeline that I need, and then I'll go ahead to start covering them up. Now this is how to do it. You can equally measure where you want this Ridgeline to be and just go ahead and use your tape and measure the same amount on the Ridgeline bone. I hope you understand what I mean. Instead of using the Ridgeline to just place on that spot, you can use your tape measure to measure where you want it to be, then measure the same amount on the Ridgeline bone. Now watch closely how I am going to use this to cover this, okay? Now this is how I'm going to face it to the boning. Okay, see how I stitched it. Okay, to the boning. I stitched it to the boning like so, and this is how I'll be wrapping it over. See how I stitched it on that groove on the boning, okay? And this is how I'll be wrapping it over, and then place it on the place where I want it to be, and then stitch it down. Don't worry about the excess fabric. I'll show you how to trim everything off. This is just me showing you how to place this. Notice that the Ridgeline here got to the underbust. It got to the underbust, but towards the hem, it is 1 inch away from the hem of this corset. Okay. So here I have stitched it down, and you can notice the excess fabric. You just take your time and trim it out. Don't worry, I'll still show you a closer view of how you will make this on a machine and also trim it out. See how I am carefully trimming it out. This is not what you will hurry, so that you will not cut into your fabric, the underbust corset. Okay, now this is what it looks like. Don't worry about the boning folding over. By the time we work on it with the hand and then iron it down, everything will be seamless. Now here I am trying to show you exactly what I did on machine. Okay, now this is what I have. The right side of this Duchess fabric is facing up, okay. The right side is facing up. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. It's facing up right now, and I place the boning on it, and I'll be stitching on that groove. There is a line by the sides of ridgeline where you can stitch on. If you can try and stitch on that line, your needle will not, your thread will not be caught. Okay, so that is what I just did, and I will wrap it like so. Now this is what you're going to do. You will wrap it over like this. Don't worry about the excess, just as I said earlier. Just place it where you want it to be and go ahead and stitch. Watch closely to see how I am stitching it down. Now I'm wrapping it properly as I stitch through it. Observe that I taped the tip of the ridgeline with masking tape. Okay, this is to cover the rough mouth. I hope you observed that. Okay, now as you're stitching, you'll be arranging it very well. As you stitch, you arrange it very well till you get to the hem. Yes, then you cut your thread. Now the ridgeline is 1 inch away from the hem, but it got to the underbust. I hope you understand. Now watch closely how I'm going to trim this excess fabric. Now you're going to trim it in a way that this part that you have the fabric is facing you, so that you will see it very well and to ensure you don't cut into the fabric. These rules are very, very important, because if you cut through this fabric, you will believe with me that you are going to start everything afresh, because you are going to dent the fabric. Okay, except there is a way you're going to cover it up with applique and all that, but then it's always good to do the right thing than looking for solutions to solve the problems. So now you take your time and trim out any other excess that may be there. Just take your time and trim it out, and everything will be fine and seamless. See how it's looking right now? You have to now stitch the second side of the boning. That is it. Our boning is ready. It's as easy as that. We just have to iron, form it very well with hand and iron. But then I'm going to fix 2 more bonings on the other sides of the bust corset. Here I have fixed the 2 extra bonings on the 2 sides, and the next thing I'm going to do is just to cover this up with lace. See me straightening every boning. I used my hand to form it very well, then ironed it properly. Now this is what you're going to do. Now I'll be covering this on the bust corset with this lace. I'll be covering it with this lace and then finish up the dress. I have a tutorial on this very kind of pattern, not exactly this dress, but a pattern like this. And I'll be linking it up in the description box, just in case you need to know how to make, a corset with an underbust corset, sort of midriff. I'm going to link it up in the description box so that you can see the tutorial if you want to. Yes. So here I'm cutting out the lace. Always observe the pattern of your lace before you cut out. After cutting it out, I'll be using it to cover this part of the corset and then finish up the dress off camera. Then I'll be showing you how to make eyelet holes on corset dresses. Now those are the 2 I covered in this tutorial. Now you have to pin it down properly like I am doing. Ensure that there are no bulges or excess anywhere. That is the essence of the pinning. Then you stitch around it and then conclude the stitching. Take your time and do this. It's very, very, very important before you conclude your stitching. So I've completed the dress here, at least to the stage of applying the eyelets. And these are the rings, eyelet rings that I have here, the scissors, my tape, and my gummet machine. See how I'm unscrewing the upper part, and this is what it looks like. And the lower part, you unscrew it like so, and this is what it looks like as well. So I'm going to fix all this back, tighten it back. I'll use my screwdriver to tighten it more. Then here, I will screw it back in place. So that is how simple the gummet machine is. This very one can take this different tips that can do different things. But this one is for the, eyelet holes or eyelet rings. So here I've already made little points on this lace where I'll be putting the eyelet holes. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to open it up more. Please make sure that this opening is not too much. It's better it's smaller so that you struggle to pass the eyelet ring. Okay, so right now I'm going ahead to open it up more, just as you can see, and cut it open slightly like this and let it open a little, not so much. It's always better when it's tight as you are, pushing in the eyelet ring. So this is how I cut it open, all of it. Please take your time to do this. Don't rush it so that you don't make it too big. If it's too big, there's nothing you can do again. Ensure that it is small. Ensure that it's small. You can take your time and open it a bit. Now, to make points for the next part, what I did is just to dot with my chalk through the hole on the other side of the corset. I hope you understand. I didn't go measuring with tape measure, no, because that may give you wrong measurement. That is for me. Now what I do is just to place it side by side like this and take my points so that it will rhyme exactly with the opposite side. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut open all those new points that I made. That is just it. It's as simple as that. Be careful to open those points so that it will not be too wide, just as I said earlier. Ensure that it is small. It's better that you struggle or you force the ring through it than the ring just being free in it, right? So that it doesn't fall off. It's always better that these rings are tight, okay? Now, having said that, this is just how you're going to cut it, and then do this for the rest of this eyelet holes, and then we will go ahead and put the rings in them. Now watch closely to see the two passages made on both sides of where I am making these holes for the eyelets. Those passages are for boning. You can put either the ridgeline bone or the plastic bone. This will make the eyelet holes or the eyelet rings to sit well and to sit right, beautifully and well structured. Okay, now here I am passing the ring, the longer part. You can see what I have here. Watch closely. These are the two types that you have in that pack. One that has a neck and the one that is flat, just like a regular ring. Okay, those are the two that you'll be using for this project. Now the one that has a neck, you pass through like this. Okay, so when you pass it through like this, you will now reach out. Ensure that you take your time. You can see how I am more like struggling a little to pass that through, but it is better. It will make your eyelet to be strong and fine. Then you put the ring. Okay, the groovy part of the ring will, you see how I placed it? Then you go ahead and press it down. So this is what I have. You can see how neat and fine it's looking. If you feel it's not as tight as you want it, you can fix it back and then hit it up well. Or best, do it once for all. Try to press it down well. Now see how I'm forcing this in? It's always better. It means the hole is just perfect. Force it in, it will pass through. It has passed through actually. Then place it like so. Then place the ring, the flat ring. Okay, you have to place the flat ring like so. Okay, the groovy part is facing up and then you press it down like this. Yes, this is what we have for the eyelet holes. You can see how neat it is looking. So fine, I'll go ahead and do the same for all of it. And then this is the finished clothes. I'll link up in the description just in case you will want to make a dress like this. I have something like this on the channel and you will not want to miss it. Check the description box for it. Love you all. Bye guys. Bye.